One thing you should know about me is that I am a Spider-Man fanboy, and I will be until the day I die. I grew up with this character, as I know millions around the world did, and kids are still growing up with him today too. I watch the movies and cartoons religiously. Hell, I've watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 daily for the last 2 weeks. I just watched Into the Spider-Verse before I sat down to record this. I adore this character, and I adore Spider-Man on the PS4 because it made me fall in love with Spider-Man all over again.
Aw, that's sweet.
In my opinion, this is the best interpretation we've had of the webhead ever. Insomniac crafted the perfect Spider-Man story. This is a love letter to every Spidey fan out there, and I could not be more grateful. I've not been this invested in a Spider-Man story since The Spectacular Spider-Man. Insomniac reminded me how much this character means to me. The key to getting Spider-Man right is getting Peter Parker right, and this game absolutely nails it. It tells such an engaging Spider-Man story that relies on your connection with Peter, and I love it so much. As soon as I started the game, I had a huge grin on my face. Hearing that music and seeing Peter Parker's room with photos of his friends and family scattered about, the tech he's created, and the newspapers of all the villains he's put away. I mean, just look at this.
SWAT is 1084 at Fisk Tower. All units stand by. Warrant is en route.
This is honestly my favourite opening to a game ever. From the get-go, it is clear that Insomniac understands Peter Parker. They understand that without getting Peter right, you can't get Spider-Man right. The relatability has always been at the core of Peter Parker, and we can always see a bit of ourselves in him. Insomniac knows this and uses that relatability to make us more invested in the narrative. We can relate to so much of what Peter goes through in the game. I mean, look at this scene. You're telling me you haven't been through something like this?
Please say no, please say no. Okay. And not okay.
I know for a fact that nobody found it hard to like this version of Peter Parker. The game tells you straight away everything you need to know about this version of him. He's an adult, and having him older was such a great decision. Peter's been Spider-Man for 8 years, so we get to see a mature and experienced Spider-Man with much more interesting relationships. This story would not work nearly as well as it does if not for the characters and the relationships Peter has. For every action-packed set piece reminiscent of the Raimi films,
I guess this is the plan.
is an intimate moment between characters that elevates the story and furthers the relationships.
I know you don't know me, but I just wanted to say, I know what you're going through. That's what you were gonna say, right?
And to me, that's what's important when it comes to Spider-Man. The relationships he has with the people around him, the relationships he has with his friends and family. His relationship with Dr. Octavius is so fleshed out. He acts as Peter's mentor, a father figure almost, and when you have scenes like this...
If you'd like to seek a position with more of a future...
I came here to work for you because of what you've got up here. And that's not going anywhere. So neither am I.
It makes scenes like this all the more heartbreaking.
You are everything I wanted to be! You just threw it away!
The game takes you on that journey with both of them, building a bond that is eventually shattered. We see the origin of a villain and feel that betrayal through Peter. You understand why Doc Ock is Peter's greatest adversary he's faced so far. You understand it's not just because of his intelligence and the giant robotic arms on his back, it's because of what he means to Peter. He tries to the very end to get Dr. Octavius to come to his senses, even after everything he's done, all the people he's hurt. And that is why I love Spider-Man so much. What always resonated with me is Spider-Man's optimism and how he never gives up. He will always try to do the right thing. He loses all his mentor figures in this game, yet still comes out with a smile on his face, and it's wonderful. Yuri Lowenthal absolutely kills it as Spider-Man. Every line of dialogue that is spoken he nails. I don't hear a voice actor, I hear Spider-Man. From the comedic moments to the emotional ones, he does it all so flawlessly. The ending to this game was tragic and made me cry. It's poetic that Uncle Ben dies from Peter's lack of responsibility, whereas Aunt May dies from Peter's sense of responsibility. It's a powerful scene that effortlessly captures what kind of person Peter is. Also, this game acts as an origin for Miles Morales, and I was never a huge Miles fan, but this game made me a fan. Seeing him be mentored by Peter is heartwarming. I mean, this scene right here is gold.
It's all good. You keep that up and, you'll be fine. All right. Lesson's over. Gotta go.
Hey, thanks. You know,
Anytime.
just punch Spider-Man.
I cannot wait to see where Insomniac takes Miles going forward, and this is another reason why having an older Peter Parker is so much more interesting. He can be that mentor to Miles, and that dynamic is going to be so entertaining in future games. Oh, and the music. The music is so Spider-Man. That feeling of heroism and adventure is instilled in this score. When you're in that final fight with Doc Ock and you hear this music in the background, yeah, chills every time. This game perfectly illustrates what it means to be Spider-Man. The sensational feeling of leaping off rooftops and swinging through the city, to the struggle of dealing with everyday problems. The story in this game is grand and the stakes are high, but it's personal too, and that's what makes it so much more impactful. It's what makes it a Spider-Man story. The Wallcrawler will always be an icon, and I applaud Insomniac for contributing significantly to the legacy of Spider-Man. This character has always been my role model because of everything he represents. He's the perfect definition of a hero. Yeah, his powers allowed him to become this, but it's his heart that makes him so lovable. No matter the odds, no matter how hard he is hit down, he will always get back up. I mean, we need people like Spider-Man in our generation. We need people like Peter Parker. People who don't give up and are willing to do the right thing. Don't ever forget.
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask.
I've definitely overused the word love in this video, and that's because no other word can describe how much this game means to me. Love is key when making something like this. It's so abundantly clear that this game was made by people who love Spider-Man.
We understand what this character means to people in here, and we're making this game with a lot of heart, and we're going to do whatever it takes to give people the ultimate Spider-Man experience, the game that they've been waiting for.
And this is what you get when you have people who are passionate about what they create. I have not felt so strongly about Spider-Man since the Raimi films, and it makes me so happy. This is what a good piece of media should do. It should make you feel something, and I know the term is overused and essentially a meme, but this game did make me feel like Spider-Man. I cannot wait to see where Insomniac goes with this universe. Miles Morales looks amazing, and I have no doubt that the sequel will be as good, if not better, than this already perfect Spider-Man game.
You are crazy.
You're amazing.